Hi everyone, welcome to Brit Indians. I'm Joshua. So today this is a new kind of series which I'm going to take about student experience. We have here Fouzan Rahim, who did his MBA in Loughborough University and now working in London. Fouzan has his own YouTube channel, one in Tamil called London Paiyan and one in English, which is Fouzan Rahim. So I'll give the link of the YouTube channel below. You can go and check out his videos and subscribe to the channel. Today he's going to share about his experiences when he was a student, how he got his job and everything to us. So hi Fauzan, how are you?
Hi Joshua, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for accepting the request and doing a collab
So
with me.
I should say thank you, Joshua, for having me on board. Before we proceed, something to add on is, I do know the type of videos you're posting on your channel, and trust me, it has been extremely beneficial to a lot of students because, say, when I was coming in as a student 3 years ago, I had a lot of questions. I did not have one channel to provide me details, right, from how to apply for a visa, how to apply for a university. Also, with regards to what type of, say, cabin baggage I could bring into the country, what kilos, what items are permitted, what is the living expense, part-time jobs. There is no channel that I know that focuses purely on complete student life. So I'm sure like your channel has benefited thousands of people. Do continue doing it, and you deserve much more subscribers, much more views, because your channel is amazing for people who are considering joining the master's program in the UK and having a good career forward. So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for your videos. Congratulations, and do continue doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Fauzan. I mean, it's great to hear it from you because I started the channel after watching your videos in London Pie, and then only I started this channel.
I should say
So
you're my inspiration. I'm not sincere with videos, but I mean, you're taking out time from your busy schedule doing it. Really appreciate it.
yeah, okay. So Fauzan, why did you choose UK?
Okay, so when I was considering doing my master's, I had two countries predominantly chosen. One was Australia, another was UK. The reason I was looking at Australia was predominantly because of stay back option, which not many countries give, and language is another issue because, say, if you look at English, you have the US, you have the UK, Singapore, and Australia, main hubs where students from India can go. For me, I was not a fan of US, so I didn't want to be Singapore, which is close to India. So Australia or the UK. The reason I personally took UK was I knew how the environment in UK is, because the main thing is when you're leaving your country, going to another country in order to study or even live, you want to meet people from different countries because you learn from different cultures, you learn from their lifestyle. Even when you're in a class and you're attending classes, how an individual from, say, Africa, say from Nigeria or from Pakistan or from, say, France, the way they interact in the class, the way they take notes, the way they respond, they do their assignments. So you learn a lot. So I wanted a multi diverse cultural experience so I could meet people. The best advantage is networking, because if you come to a different country, you're studying in a class, you're like 20, 30 people who go back into different parts of the world. So in future, if you want connections in different countries, you develop that. So compared to different countries in the world, I think UK and US have a very good diverse classroom experience. So that was one. And another is I like cold climate. So that's why I chose UK.
Okay, that's nice. And you did your MBA here, right? So how is UK for MBA, like management and business studies? How is UK for MBA?
So, what I would say is, if you look at MBA, I wouldn't recommend to much individuals if they don't have sufficient work experience. Because in India, you would see someone 21 years of age doing an MBA. Because I did my MBA after having close to 6 to 7 years of experience, and I still felt I needed more work experience because, say, all my courseworks are based on real companies. So I need to go on to different companies' website, take their financial statements. Amazing learning experience. But I felt if I had, say, another 5 years of work experience, you know I'll be able to process everything that I learned based on my work experience, and it would be extremely beneficial. Uh, a lot of universities in the UK look at 3 years of work experience. But I would say, at least if you don't have 7 years of experience, don't consider an MBA. Go for MSc, because management studies is more concentrated. Because in my class, I had the local Brits who did it. Uh, Predominantly, they were in their 40s, who had like 10, 15 years of experience working as directors or managing directors in different organizations and doing it on a part time basis. I could understand why they do it in that way. It was predominantly Indians or Africans or people from East Asia, like Chinese, who were predominantly into MBA with relatively less years of experience compared to Europeans or the Brits. So, if an advice which I would give is focus on MSc. It is you have very targeted ones, like even business. I think have like management studies. You have a range of divisions under that. If you're looking at financial studies, again,
Yeah, I think they have like international business management and a lot of things in MSc. For I think that would be a good
exactly,
option for people who don't have experience, right?
exactly. And even if you have less years of experience, that is a good pathway, because when I was looking out for jobs, not many people know the value of an MBA, because say they would see me, they would think you're less than 30. What qualities as an MBA would he bring in? Whereas if I went in with an MSc, the number of opportunities are much more. Yes, salaries might be less compared to an MBA, but it gives you that right channel of getting a job easier, I would say.
Mm. Okay. So how did you choose your university for MBA? Like when you're looking in UK?
So I looked into variety of aspects, because say initially I wanted to come into the UK in 2012. I applied to a variety of universities for my masters. It was in international marketing. So I got into most of the top universities, including Imperial College, King's College London. But then that's when the visa regulations changed in the country, where they stopped offering post-study work visa. And say studying in any of the London universities, especially if it's King's or Imperial, your total investment is going to be upwards of say 75, 80 lakh rupees. And in 2012, this is I'm saying. So making such a big investment and not having a guarantee that I could stay back or I could get a job and recover a part of the investment. Because once you go back to India, it doesn't matter you're Imperial or Kings, because they will look at you as a normal person who has experience. So I did not take up my offer. I decided to back out. Then when I was coming in 2018 for my for the MBA program, I was more into a practical understanding that I want to do an MBA which gives me value for money. So I wanted to consider what are the chances of getting a job after my MBA, what is the cost of my MBA, what is the possibility of getting a scholarship for my studies, what is going to be the living expenses in the place I'm going to live in. And because basically on a more matured state, you take a more sensible decision. So Loughborough was offering the option of doing an MBA with a placement year or an internship year. So I knew that if I have at least 1 year compared to 4 months, say I can get a job, you perform in your job, show the organization that you have a good asset, they're going to sponsor you and keep you on for the long term. And when I spoke to people from different years who've gone through the program, they say that your first job is the biggest challenge. Once you've set foot, you started gaining local work experience, your other jobs become much more easier. But now, with the post study work visa, you could be choosing any type of a university. If you ask for tips as to what you need to consider, I would say look at rankings, not only global rankings, because say Loughborough is not anywhere in the top 200, 300 in the world, but in the UK they are in the top 10. They rank better than universities like I think Leeds and most of the universities that we hear a lot in India. So look at local rankings over global rankings, because you want to work in the UK. So that is one. And my aspects were like I got a good scholarship from Loughborough. Uh, they were ranked number one for student experience. I wanted to have that. They were ranked really good within the UK. And I knew that the cost of living is relatively low compared to big metropolitan cities. And, if it's a student town, you have opportunities for part time jobs, you have opportunity to get connections. And the location, it's in the central part of England where, you can travel around UK with ease.
Okay, so since now we have the PSW, do you think taking an industrial placement here is worth it?
In the present time, I wouldn't advise for it. The reason being is, if you have, say, a long-term plan of staying in the UK, say 5 years, getting an ILR, staying another year, getting your passport. In that case, I don't think your industrial years or your placement year is considered as your skilled employment work. So you would spend 1 year, but it doesn't add to your visa duration. So now you might as well go in for full-time employment when you have it.
Oh, okay. So, uh, like, did you do any part-time jobs when you're studying in Loughborough University? Like, how did you manage your living expenses?
Yes, I did a part-time job in KFC. Really good experience. So when people are coming in, they need to know that part-time jobs in the UK are completely different because in the UK, we all respect everyone. No one sees that you're an employee or an employer. There is mutual respect. And it's a really good experience. And you earn really well because I was on minimum wage, making £8.23, which comes close to 850 rupees per hour. So, work 20 hours, you make over 16, 17,000 rupees, and your living expenses is tackled. Again, in case if you're in a city like London, the living expense is much higher. But I have friends in London who are doing part-time jobs getting paid over £10 per hour. So you get paid more, whether it's a full-time employment or part-time jobs, as the city is bigger.
Okay, so um, how did you find your internship? So, since you are in a placement year, you have to find it within like 8 months or 9 months. So, how did you like
Correct.
find the internship job?
So actually, they gave us a deadline. We didn't have the entire duration of the placement year because we had to do a minimum of, I think, 48 weeks. So in that case, we have just like 3, 4 months after we've graduated, after we've done the last semester. You have about 4 months. You need to get a job. If you get the job, your visa is extended. If you don't get the job, your visa is cut short. So it was extremely difficult. So if people think coming into the UK opportunities are going to be open, no, it's extremely difficult, but it is not impossible. uh, I made a lot of mistakes. If you could avoid those mistakes, because don't come in with the approach like how I'm applying for a job in India, I'm going to get a job here. Or don't be like, okay, my university would help me or the career support would help me. Right from day one, if you take an effort saying that, okay, go on to YouTube, go on to different articles here as to how they speak about how to apply for a job, you need to understand what the recruiters in the UK, what job search portals in the UK are in demand, what companies are using. If you take that effort, cracking a job is extremely easy. Because for me to get my first job offer, it took me about 4.5 months, where I literally gave up. I was like, okay, I'm not getting a job. But then once I got my first offer, I got two offers within the next week itself. So I had three offers in that first a week and a half. Because first 3 months I was just applying, like I had my CV as a template, cover letter as a template, and going without realizing where I'm going wrong. So once I realized that, now I know as to say if I'm applying for a job, what has to be on my CV, what has to be avoided, what has to be on my cover letter. Because simple example is your CV gives all your details. Never put details that are on your CV on your cover letter. Cover letter is to give you additional information, which could be, say, you've made some achievement, you've proven yourself in university or in work, something different to enhance your CV rather than a summarized manner. And use local job search portals, Indeed and Read. If you're in the UK, LinkedIn is good, but Indeed or Read is what people in the UK would recommend for jobs.
Okay, so how did you get your tier two visa sponsorship? Like, is the same company, or did you like apply for any other companies after that?
No, it was the same company. So I worked and I did my placement year, and I think about 8 months into it, I told them, because initially when I joined, I told them that, say, I have 1 year of work visa, I mean, 1 year of work permit. Post that, I would require it. So organization is like, okay, at least they have 1 year to assess me. So
Mm.
throughout the process, then I think within my 6 to 8 months, I had like a periodical assessment in which the CEO was happy with the performance, and he said that yes, once you're ready, we can start your process. I delayed it a bit because I was working full time, and if I finished my placement year quicker, I had to do my dissertation quicker.
Mhm.
So that's why I pushed it for another 3 months, and then once my dissertation was over, I started the work. Because of COVID, it came quite quickly. I think in about 3 weeks, I had not in 3 weeks, about 2.5 weeks, I had all my formalities sorted and got my visa.
Okay, that's nice. And how was London like for working and I hear London is quite expensive and it's kind of commuting is quite hard. So how are you feeling about it?
Um, Say London as a city is amazing. It's one of the best cities in the world, but working in London is not that great, honestly, because see, as a tourist, as a student, you will have the best time of your life. But when you work, it's more like it's an extremely fast city, so it's very commercial. So it's like a robotic life.
Mhm.
Monday morning you wake up, Friday evening you finish work, Saturday, Sunday you want to energize, and then back to Monday. Uh, Living expense is literally double of what you would be spending anywhere else. Like, say, the place where I stay now is over £900 for an ensuite, whereas the same room, if I was staying in any other city, even if it's Manchester or Birmingham, which are big cities, I would be paying one third of the price, maybe £300. But here I'm paying much more because okay, I stay in Canary Wharf, which is part of central London, so it's a bit expensive. But your food, if you go out to restaurants, everything is expensive, but you get paid extra. Say if you're doing a job from say Leicester, you might be getting £30,000. The same job, if it's in London, you would be getting like 37, £38,000. So London gives you that premium for full-time jobs, for part-time jobs, and yeah, it balances out the living expenses.
That's great. So, what advice do you have for the students who are coming, especially right now in this, COVID-19 pandemic time? So, what is your advice for them?
Now is a good time for students to come because everything is opening up. I don't think there is going to be any more restrictions. Cases are high, but the number of deaths are very low. So, vaccination is gone on in a very good spree. Uh, Students can come here with the 2 years post-study work visa, definitely can get a job. Says I know sometimes people take loans, people borrow money, or use their savings, so they're taking a big risk to come. But something I can tell them is, say you could come, finish your program. In case 6 months you don't get a job, 8 months you don't get a job, don't think that how am I going to survive. You can still do a part-time job and make more money than what you're making back in India. So especially when you work full time, 40 hours a week, you literally make say about 30 to 40,000 rupees per week, which is like over a lakh and a half back home. So till you get a full time job, you don't need to worry about your expenses. You can still save, you can recover money. But once you get your full time employment, everything changes after that. You can save a lot if you want to send money back home, or if you want to make investments. You can look after everything. So don't give up. uh, Good time to come into the UK. Lot of encouragement is there with regards to jobs, with regards to uh, universities also provide good scholarships. So make the most of it. The best advice I can give is network, because whether you want jobs, because one of the 3 jobs I got was to a referral, where a friend of mine was working in a company. She told me there's an opening. I didn't have to go to any procedure. Straight away went with my CV. One day finished an interview, and it was one of the top companies in the world. So it's a very big multinational company, and that's what happens. So in class, don't always stick to small group of people. Be friends with people from different countries. Be friends with the professors, or different members in the university, because it will all benefit you, say 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. It's always beneficial. And yeah, I mean, I have zero regrets of coming to the UK. Amazing experience, amazing learning. And yeah, it would mature you up as a person overall. So good luck to everyone who's considering it. And I mean, Joshua's videos are there to guide you. So anything and everything, Joshua's there. Or I mean, his Instagram, he is extremely helpful, because I know a lot of my friends, I'll be like, any information, contact Joshua. He'll give you A to Z. He knows different cities, different universities, different courses that I demand. So yeah.
Thank you, bro. And yeah, networking is really a good one. Like, people sometimes, they, if they're Indians, they just, speak with Indians. They don't like mingle with other people. So they should actually, outreach with people and, get to know them. And also, like, networking in LinkedIn is also an important thing to, get to know people
True.
outside of the university.
Yeah.
So,
Just something to add on is,
mhm.
since you mentioned LinkedIn, uh, what I used to do normally is whenever if you apply for jobs on LinkedIn, be a bit proactive. In the UK, you need to be unique. So I see who has posted the job, and I directly go there, send them a message. You have the email message. So I just send them a message saying that, say, I saw this type of an opening posted by you. I have done XYZ, just like a small paragraph, and say that, do you think I'm a good fit for the position? So if someone is reading that and they see that your background is good, they don't need to go to hundreds of CV. They'll be like, okay, let's have a chat. So I have directly spoken to many people like that. They just give you the number, fix a time, or they ask you for your number, because say if someone is posting an ad, he needs to recruit as early as possible because his job is to recruit people. And if someone is showing interest, you have a much better chance of going ahead of others who applied for that job.
Yeah, that's a good thing, Fauzan. Thank you. And yeah, thank you for all the things that you have given to us. You're told a lot of informations of that, so definitely it will be useful for the students. And yeah, thank you for your videos in your channel. We are expecting more videos from you, Fauzan. Come on, you had to do it.
I've
uh,
just moved a bit into investment side now. So if people
mm,
are interested in making investments or ideas how to grow wealth, yeah, you can check out my channel. Thank you
mm.
so much, Joshua, for having me on board. And please do continue what you're doing. Amazing work. And yeah, waiting to see you touch the 100,000 mark soon. The silver play button is to come. We'll
We'll
celebrate
see,
that.
we'll see. Yeah. Okay. Thank you all for watching. If you want to subscribe to Fauzan's channel, I have given them in the description. You can go and check it out and subscribe the channel. And if you like the video, hit the like button and share the video. We'll meet in next video. Until then, goodbye. Cheers.